Hey, what's up everybody? Tony with Lido, Loca. Welcome back for another video. Hey, I want to give you an update on the clown brawl on the P&O Britannia. There's been some new news on that, and I also want to have a conversation about what we should do with people that start a fight on a cruise ship. It was just a couple days ago that I shared with you guys a news story about a fight that broke out on this cruise liner that was making its way from Norway back to Southampton, UK. The story at the time was that there were guests who got upset by the appearance of someone dressed in fancy clothes about 2 o'clock in the morning, apparently in the buffet area. Now, we've got some clarification. A lot of our good friends from Europe, Australia, our UK friends said fancy clothes in the UK basically means costume clothes. In the US, we might consider that a costume party or cosplay. And so the story is there's a no fancy clothes rule on this P&O cruise. Somebody shows up dressed as a clown and all hell breaks loose, basically. Now, the way that we got to this clowning around story was because there was a reporter from Good Morning Britain on the P&O Britannia, ITV's Good Morning Britain. The gentleman's named Richard Gayford, and he tweeted out a couple tweets at the time of the incident, and this is what they said. He said, "The violence occurred on the final leg of a week-long cruise to Norway's fjords. I became aware of trouble when officers made an emergency tannoy at 2 a.m. for security staff to rush to the 16th floor restaurant. I went to and found passengers shocked by what they'd seen." He goes on to tweet, "One witness, part of the group involved in the trouble, explained to staff that things kicked off when another passenger appeared dressed as a clown. This upset one of their party because they'd specifically booked a cruise with no fancy dress. It led to a violent confrontation." And what we know about that confrontation was that several people were injured. People picked up plates and chairs, used them as weapons, and it did result in 2 people being detained by the police. So the big update today is that P&O said they have reviewed the footage on the cruise tape and that there was no clown involved. A direct contradiction to what we read from this eyewitness account from on the cruise ship. Now, again, if you go back and listen to those tweets, he was reporting what someone had told him, and so it really is kind of secondhand. P&O saying after they reviewed the footage, no clown on board. And today, the 2 people that were arrested, a 43-year-old man and a 41-year-old woman, they were actually released as the investigation continues. So I don't know, there's still news outlets out there reporting that this brawl was started by a clown, and now we're starting to see more and more news outlets come out with P&O's story that there was no clown on board. But regardless, there was a big altercation where people were injured. So this brings me to the second part of the discussion. What do we do about violence on a cruise ship? If you think about a cruise ship, these are massive floating communities, sometimes all the way up to 6,000 people. But when you're on a cruise ship, while it's big, there is nowhere that you can go. So if you are the target of violence, if you get into an altercation that results in somebody coming after you to do you harm, there's not a lot you can do. All you can do is rely on the security staff of the cruise ship to protect you. And obviously the cruise security staff is way outnumbered by the amount of guests. Again, this event took place in a restaurant away from security. I'm sure it took a few moments for security to respond. So in those moments when violence is happening, you're pretty vulnerable. So I think I'm going to take a hard stance on this. People that do violence on a cruise ship, super dangerous for all the passengers. They're putting themselves in danger. They're putting countless others in danger. And yeah, I think that if you're not someone who can control yourself on the cruise ship, I think lifetime ban. I think that these folks, if they instigated the fight, if they were swinging, if the security cameras show that these people were in a physical altercation, I think they should be banned from the cruise ship and really from all cruise ships, because it's not a place where there's a lot of leeway. And if you do it once, possibly you do it again. I don't know. I just don't want to take the risk. I'm thinking more for the safety. I think it would be better to put a few people off and not give them a second chance than to put all these other people at risk if they go cruising again. I know it may be too harsh of a stance. I would be interested in hearing what you think. I'm really interested in finding out whether there's a dang clown on this cruise ship that started a fight. And if it wasn't a clown that started the fight, What started the fight? Something went sideways for this melee to happen on this 16th floor restaurant, and the details are still sketchy. And now we have a direct refutation from the cruise line based on video evidence from the person that was on the cruise ship. Ban these people for life. Leave a comment below. Let's continue the conversation. Thanks so much for stopping by. This is Tony with Lido, Loca. Don't forget to hit the like if you enjoyed the video. And until the next time, we'll see you on the Lido. Bye.